Aloha and welcome to the Friday Marketing Jam Session. I'm Tom Gaddis, my co-host Richie Cronin in the house.
Hey, how are you, Tom?
I'm doing fantastic. Hey, we had a little mix-up in the schedule. So today, we're actually going to be talking about one of the hottest opportunities in local marketing, and that is Google Maps. So we're going to be talking about Google Maps, the Google Business Profile. Richie has been crushing it with this as a service. So we're going to talk about how he not only sells Google Business as a service, but how to turn it into a constant stream of inbound clients. We're going to have a good time. We're going to enjoy some cool beverages. We're going to take your questions. We're going to do some shout outs. It's going to be fun. So I'm going to cue up the intro and we will see you back here in one momento.
It's time, the moment you've been waiting for. Get ready for the fastest 60 minutes of marketing strategies and tactics to grow and scale your business from anywhere in the world. After 167 agonizing hours, we've returned for a brand new Aloha Marketing Jam session. And now, here are your hosts.
Woo! Yeah, fired up to have me back in the house up there.
Happy Friday.
Yeah, welcome everybody. Welcome. I love that enthusiasm. Let's see who all is here in the chat. Whoa, I see Megalodon Dorn Britton up. What's up, Britton? What's up, Dorn? James, Chris, Michael, Jacqueline. Welcome, everybody. I'm excited to be back. It was really weird not being on
Look
the
at
line.
that. There's a blast from the past, and I don't think I've seen this before. Jason Moran in the house.
Yeah, what's up, Jason?
Hey.
Davey, Dale, Enrique. Man, lots of people here. That's awesome. Yeah, I missed you guys last week. My daughter had a volleyball tournament, so it kind of worked out. So I was down there watching them whack the old leather ball around, and actually has another tournament today, so I'm going to be heading down after the live show for that. So that'll be fun. Yep. Yeah, that'll be fun. But right now we're here to talk about local marketing, Google Maps. We're going to take your questions. We're going to do all kinds of stuff. Also, how's my mic sound? I'm testing out a new microphone. How's it sound?
Sounds pretty good to me.
Pretty good, yeah. So I saw this thing online the other day. It's a microphone put out by Lewitt, Lewitt. It's called the Ray. But what makes it different is it automatically adjusts your volume and sound no matter how close or far away you get from the mic.
That's clever.
Which, for me, I'm an animated, like I like to move around, and I don't like always having to be up and talk. Yeah. I like to jump in, do some push-ups in the middle of the show, so it's nice. It's also got another pretty clever feature too that I don't have it set up right now, but like you can actually have the mic mute based on your distance from it.
Oh.
So you can just step back a little bit and it'll mute and they won't hear anything. And then when you come back, it goes in. So I'm interested to see how it works out. I do a lot of recording and stuff. Like I said, I like to not have the microphone right up in my mouth. So I'm hoping that this sounds good and works out. And
yeah, I just purchased a new microphone set. The two lapels, the battery packs, and the remote ones, and a headset as well. I'm picking it up on Sunday. So
nice.
Yeah, looking forward to that. So I'm working on a project where we're doing a local business entertainment podcast with me and another guy. So we're getting ready to launch that in the next couple of weeks. So it should be a bit of fun.
Oh, that's fantastic. Yeah. The manufacturer is Lewitt, Lewitt. This is what it looks like.
Looks like a microphone.
Yeah. You see those little bars below there, though?
Oh, yeah.
Little bars. So that's the distance you are from the mic. So when you come close, it should sound the same whether you're close, far away. You know how other mics get kind of hollow. So anyway, I love playing around with new toys. So hopefully it'll work out.
Mine follows me around.
Yeah,
I have to move it. So yeah.
I never had any intention of learning about microphones and lights and all that stuff, but you just have to do it, right? You have to do it. So awesome. Well, welcome, man. Lots of people in here. Sean, Clay, Anselim. Welcome, everybody. Dale. Wow, awesome. Welcome, man. We're going to have a good live show today. Awesome.
Hey.
So, Richie, what's been going on in your world? We haven't chatted in a minute.
Yeah, crazy busy. I scooped a new client I've been working on since January in New Zealand, and that comes with 25 Google profiles that we now manage, and there's they operate in 11 countries in the South Pacific. So we are looking in 2025. We'll be expanding that to about 158, I believe it is. Across the 11 countries. So yeah, it's been pretty exciting getting that one closed. And I've been working on sort of a bit of deep data diving as well, with sort of isolating a different prospecting method. And so I'll be able to talk more about that next week, particularly when we're talking about emails. So yeah, looking forward to that. And yeah, a couple of live wires on there. I just picked up a new gym here in Nashville last night. So yeah, meeting with them on Monday to sort out a few sales funnels and the likes for them. So yeah, it's good. The agency's busy.
And that's awesome. I want to dive a little deeper into that. Did you guys talk a lot about that new client last week?
No, I wasn't on the show last week. It was Nick
It's a Google business profile client, right?
Yep.
It's a Maps client. So that's the service you're providing for them. So you said it's, to start off with, you're managing 25 Google business profiles?
25 profiles. Yeah.
Well, here's something I think might be interesting to dive a little deeper into, because first of all, congratulations. I mean, what a freaking awesome win. Like
Thanks very much. Yeah, cheers.
That is huge, right? Like that is a huge win. And I think what might be interesting to people that are here on the live show is, you know, what that process looked like from initial contact to closing, because you've been working on this deal for a while, right?
Yeah. So, well, I started talking to them last year about a few online presence issues that presented themselves. And then in January, we really started to hone in on the Google profile side of things. And they had already committed to a marketing campaign, and they wanted to get into that. And then, you know, when the funds became available, we onboarded and got underway. So
now, were they doing the marketing campaign with you already, or
no? They were doing it with like a MediaWorks, a radio company in New Zealand. They'd committed to a large campaign with them. So yeah, that's because it sort of stalled us getting underway back in February, which we were looking for. But you know, to get underway in April, and obviously in commencement of everything in full in May, it's been great.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, the reason I want to kind of talk a little bit about that process, because I think a lot of times, you know, we celebrate the wins, but you know, when you're talking about bigger deals like this for bigger companies, those types of deals, they take time. Like, I mean, I know that there's a lot of gurus out there that tell you like, oh yeah, you just close high ticket clients right and left. Like, that has not been our experience. Like, our experience has been that the bigger deals, the bigger clients, they have a longer runway of initial contact to closing those deals, because there's a lot of things to work out. And when you're talking about bigger investments from clients and things like that, like there's a lot of stuff that goes into those. So I guess my first question would be, how was this client? Is this a cold outreach client? Did you initially do some cold outreach to them? Did you hear about them? Did you target them? Like how did they come into your sphere of influence to begin with?
Well, it's a bit of a cheat, really. I used to work for them, so it's a former employer. Yeah. So which means I understand their business like from the inside, and and so, you know, I was a senior manager with them and looked after the South Pacific, and so it's my workmate that, well, the CEO is still a good friend today, and so I kind of had the easier ride there, if you know what I mean. It wasn't sort of pitching from cold.
It was a warm referral.
Yeah, it's definitely warm, and I think the reason that I've got it is because I already have trust established with them, and I understand their systems internally. So so I want to bring them to the table is the management of their Google profiles and getting them right on track, because they should be dominating in their industry and they're not. But no one else is doing the basic things with their Google profiles either. So and then we're moving them to a fully automated SaaS system using chatbots and text back and all of that stuff as well. So that's going to be the hub of everything that runs their Google profiles. But the first task is to straighten it all out and get it all fixed up and everything else. So that's the work that we've got in May, is to get all those really plugged in and dialed in correctly, and that's that's the initial win, and then ongoing revenue from this customer will be just grow and grow and grow. So
yeah, I mean, that's a lot of investment and time on your part to nurture that deal and work it right. And I think there's a couple of good things. What type of manager were you for them?
Well, I ran the South Pacific for.
I thought you said did you say regional manager? You said a word I didn't quite.
Yeah, the South Pacific. So it's countries like New Zealand, Fiji, Samoa, Tonga, Vanuatu, Solomons, Papua New Guinea, New Caledonia. So I used to have a lifestyle where I would always be at an airport and be flying somewhere every day. It'd be not unusual to leave Monday morning and then I'd go and spend the weekend in Melbourne and then come back to Christchurch and collect the 5 newspapers off the front doorstep and then go away again. So yeah, there's a lot of travel.
Yeah. So you used to work for them. You're like, hey, I think I can help them. So then you spent some time kind of looking at the various things they had going on, right? Which, by the way, the process. I mean, I think this is another good thing to point out to people on this call as well too. Is like, the process. I know I used to always think there was like some kind of a different process between getting smaller clients and getting bigger clients. But the reality is the process is usually the same, although it's extended. Like you're doing a lot of the same stuff. And so that's why it's really important, I think, to really work on your, like when you're like, if you're new and you're like, look, I'm looking to add Google Maps to my business, and man, that sounds great to get a client that I could manage 25 for, and everybody wants that. But like, the reality is you have to be prepared and able to do that as well. So, when you're first getting into this stuff, it's just really important to really focus and do a good job on those initial clients and the smaller, like you treat the smaller paying clients just like they were one of these bigger paying clients. That's a better way to say it. I used to always think like, oh, well, I don't have to be as involved with somebody that's only paying me $500, because when somebody pays me $10,000, then I'll really focus in and get to work. But the reality was I couldn't do a good job for the bigger clients until I really started doing a good job for the smaller clients, right? Like
you've got to cut your teeth, you've got to get that grounding and experience. And I think especially if you're new to digital marketing, you're trying to build an agency and a book, then you have to go through those $500 websites and those things and that, because that's your learning, and you work out better systems and processes by working with them. We early last year, we sort of made a change in New Zealand and American business as well, was that we don't take on what I call one-man bands anymore. And the reason being is that we were spending too much time, too much energy, and we just weren't making any money out of them. And so we shifted my focus, went to a larger customer, and I have a qualifying criteria for that customer as well. And you go into that. But I couldn't have done that right from the start. Just going, well, I'm not going to work with a one-man band that cleans windows. I want the company that's got 10 vehicles on the road and 40 staff. That's who I'm after. I want them. But you've got to learn your way to it, and then you can start really honing in on those bigger businesses. Because the other thing that crosses over there is a larger business is more likely to have less touch points as you go along. They know what they're paying for. If they're paying you $5,000 a month for SEO, they're the customers you hear the least from. But the one that's paying $500, who's a much smaller business, you'll hear from them every other day, and there'll always be something a fire to fight, So But you just have to grow and learn with it. It's as simple as that, and it can't be done in a matter of a few weeks. It takes some time to get that experience and that stuff under your belt.
Yeah, and I mean, I know just from my behind the scenes perspective with what you have going on. I mean, I know that you've been working on Google profile stuff for a long time. Like you've been learning the skills, putting the time in to work it out. And I bring all of this up because over the past couple of weeks, we've been talking about a course we brought to you guys from Paul James called Maps Mentor, which is really a course about the fundamentals of Google Maps and Google Business Profile, which are super important. Like there's a lot of fundamental things
the basis of it. You can get into all the nitty gritty, but you've just got to have those main things dialed in and sorted out, because that's what trips the algorithm. That's what Google respects. And by doing those basic things and being very consistent with a Google profile, it will rank. It will go better. It may not go straight into the 3-pack without really getting into the nitty gritty, but you've got to do the basics to go from number 186 to number 22. And then it's basic.
Yeah, and that's really what the Maps Mentor course. Like when we look at things that we bring to our community, some things, we bring different things that serve different purposes and people at different places in their businesses, right? The Maps Mentor course is really a great way for people to get, introduced to doing Google Maps, Google Business Profile as a service. It's the fundamental stuff. It's a pretty straightforward way to generate, some cash flow. I mean, you're not going to generate a ton of cash flow right off the bat, but like you can generate some pretty good $500, $1,000 wins to get some traction, to start cutting your teeth, building some skills, right? So that you can build those things out later. And I think that's what Paul's course, that's why we were excited to bring it to the Sharks, because it does a good job of leaving out all the complicated stuff and just saying like, look, the whole point of this thing is for you to come in and be able to go out and get a client, right? And then we're going to show you how to, get that initial sell, how to get your foot in the door. And then we're going to show you how, then he shows you how to turn that into a recurring revenue, which is another key part, right? So there's the different pieces there. And I think Paul's been doing it for a long time too. And so have you, and you can attest. And so have we, like Google Business Profile is a great service to have in your arsenal.
Well, it's the perfect stepping stone product as well. And getting those initial clients is one thing, and it can be a lower value, but it's those $500 sales that you might make from building, rebuilding, repairing, whatever it is with a Google profile. And then that is the kind of customer that turns into a $1,500 a month SEO customer, or a website rebuild, or the higher ticket stuff comes from doing those jobs first. So I've always said, Google profiles is the thing that we lead with, simply because to lead with SEO straight out of the gate is a much harder sale, and it's not as much a qualified market. Every business has got a Google profile, and if they haven't, they've got a problem. So what are we doing? We're fixing the problem. And that's what we're doing as digital marketing agency owners. We are solution providers. And this is one key thing that affects everyone. So you may as well, have that as your lead, and then use your other higher ticket items to be the service, the fulfillment that comes in behind this.
Yeah, and it really latches on great to other things that we talk about and teach in Offline Sharks too. If you guys are, we started by doing a lot of websites, and Google Business Profile, SEO, those things are a great attachment, right? You set up a website for somebody, and then it's like, hey, now how do we get more eyeballs on this? Well, one way is to make sure it's connected to your Google Maps listing, make sure all of that is set up correctly, right? That's one way to do it. So, it just builds in really well with those. So let me ask you a question here. So I know that, this is a bigger client, but you also offer some Google Business Profile stuff too. Like you offer that to pretty much everybody you come in contact with. What's kind of what's the range of the prices you're charging right now for Google Business Profile services?
Yeah, so at the 90-day service, which we've now built into with our SaaS system, we have a $600 a month recurring that includes our Google service that comes with it. But the original pricing I used for it was $600 for 90 days. And I very quickly put that up to $900 because I was like, this is too cheap, and then before we changed over to the just the straight out monthly and just having a standard service, we were selling for $1,400. So and there's no resistance at $1,400, being that it's a 90-day service. So that is the time frame. You can do a lot of actions to a Google profile, and it won't just jump 2 weeks later. It takes 60 to 90 days for it to really have an effect and start, dialing itself in and working its way up. So that's why we always use that 90-day time frame. Was this is that, and at the end of 90 days, or we actually get to 60 days, and then we'd kick in the reoccurring, which was $297 a month, and we carry on. But we were manually answering reviews, so we'd go in once or twice a week, depending on their review traffic, and answer using a template, answer the reviews and do those things. Every month we would add their promotions and events to it as well. So there's some manual stuff that was in the service, but if you break it out at $300 a month, it was about 1 to 2 hours of a VA's time to complete those actions. So it's a very profitable service and super important to the business. And a lot of businesses are that size where $300 a month is a good investment. $3,000 a month in SEO, they go, well, I can't really afford to do that. That cuts my profit in half for the year, but $3,000 a year on that, something that directly affects the amount of business that they get, is a good investment. So, yeah, and they don't have the knowledge to do it. They don't have the time to do it, nor the expertise as well. So, you wind up in a very trusted situation, and that gives you access to a lot more things with that customer as well.
Yeah, well, and I think, and Michael, Richie is kind of answering your question right now about what's in that 90 days. I think there's a couple of smart things you did there. One is you mentioned that it takes some time to see results. And so, typically when you're selling a monthly service, it's incumbent upon you to handle those expectations and let the client know exactly what's going to be happening and when they can expect results and why results aren't happening overnight and all that stuff. I think it's really smart that you just tie it into like, look, we're going to sell you a 90-day thing. Then we don't have to worry about that because you're in it for 90 days. So there's no question about in month one, if it's not working quite right, it's like, oh, well, we saw some time there. So I think that's great. And then what you were saying in each of those months for the 90 days, you optimize the profile first, right?
Yep. First thing we do is the very first part is access. You've got to sort out access, and once you've got that access sorted out, then we go straight into.
So how do you get access to their GBP?
Well, I made a video, and we send them a video and say, look, here, you got to click on, do these 4 things, and that
they add
us as a manager. They add us as a manager and or an owner. There are a few more things you can do as an owner. If there's multiple profiles, you really kind of need to go in as an owner, because then you can start doing things like groups and things and make it a lot easier on yourself moving forward. So that's the first thing. Is access.
A little video showing them this is how you add us, and then you send them that, and then they
just and that actually, and even now in our onboarding forms that we use, we have a detailed step-by-step guide to giving us access to different things, because I've found that showing business owners who are not computer savvy the real simple way of doing things. Here's a photo of that. This is here. Click these 3 dots. Select this. Do this. Do this. Do this. Show them that, and they go through it and they do it straight away. We get little resistance. So that's the first thing. Then the next one is we go through and complete every single possible item on their profile. And that's the trick. 100% complete Google profiles start to trigger, and work. Then you've got to go through and do all the reviews and review replies and stuff. But the other really important thing, you've got to start getting reviews. Review generation is the second biggest factor with Google. Is reviews are what it's based on. So you have to get reviews, and you can't just dump 300 reviews on a profile, and Google won't respect that. But if you add 2 or 3 or 5 or 10, depending on the size of the business, per week, and they're answered not within minutes of them arriving, but the next day or a couple of days later, you answer them. And use normal, reasonable language, rather than just something that's just a standard thank you for your kind words when they haven't left any wording at all. I mean, you've got to, and we always put the person who's given us the review, we always add their name. We reply back to them, hey, thanks, Tom. We really appreciate you coming and visiting us, and we look forward to seeing you again soon. Cheers, the Lost Paddy team. So that's the one is those responses. Then we move into the products and services and the categories that they're in as well, and we really want to get those dialed in for what people are actually searching, not for what the business owner thinks is what they do. So we dial that in, and adding the products and services, we make like templated posts, like a social media post, and we put branding in them and everything else in that, really clean it up and make it look a lot more professional and pro. Plus we add a video as well. We use the video in our from our Reach machine. We would typically, anyone that comes in with that service, we give them a featured profile on one of our AGM sites, and so we take the video from that and we add that to their Google profile as well, because Google loves a video on that profile, especially from YouTube, which is theirs anyway. And YouTube's the second biggest search engine in the world, after Google. So it makes sense to link those two things together. And then you just the ongoing activity of adding promotions and events. And if you keep doing that with regularity, Google just respects it and says you're engaged in using your Google profile. Therefore, I will preference you over those who are not engaged.
That's great. I love a couple things you're doing there. So for those of you that maybe don't know, the way that Richie creates those videos for the clients is he just uses Canva. Yeah. So he just uses a Canva video template, adds their info. They're pretty quick, like 30 seconds, right? 45 seconds, the basic ones.
Yeah, the 20 to 30 seconds is what we do. Yeah.
Yeah. And then I love also too, and because we do a lot of this too, and we talk about this, and I'm seeing it's been really good to see more and more people in our community taking this approach as well, because a lot of the things that we talk about here in Offline Sharks, like they all work together. So, the video is part of the, you give them this 30-second promo video as part of a foot in the door offer. Then we add that to their Google profile, which helps there. Then we can add that to an influencer website listing, right? And which helps as well. So like incorporating all of these other things that you're doing into this, into this process, I think is really great. I just talked to a guy who's in our community, Boris, I think his first name is Boris, who is, he has like a bunch of restaurants he's doing SEO for. And part of the SEO process is he's adding them. He's got several influencer websites set up. And so like he was telling me how he took he has a client that's a pizza place, and he wrote a blog post on his influencer website, the top 10 pizza places in where the influencer site was based. He put his client as number 1. Then he created a press release announcing that they were number 1 on this best of list, and sent that out to various press release services and created a bunch of links for his clients that way.
That's real smart. That's
really
smart.
Super smart. I hope he doesn't mind that I shared that. But anyway, I reached out to him and I want to talk to him more about the process, because I think that's really smart, right? And like, look, if you don't have an influencer website, like you can't do that part. And by the way, I think it's important to remind people too that all of these things that we talk about have been added on to over time, right? Like the important thing is to just start with the fundamentals and the basics. So if you're not doing Google Maps right now, the first thing is, well, just get somebody that you can optimize their profile for. Make a few bucks, get comfortable optimizing profiles. Then start doing some of the recurring, right? And just one client at a time. And then as that's going along, then you can build out an influencer site and bring that in. Then you can start adding the Canva videos, right? Like, and I say all that because I know when, as a marketer, when you hear all that, you're like, I want to do it all. But that can really prevent you from taking the action, right? Because if you're trying to get it all in place, it takes a lot longer to get going. So just get going, and you can add all of that stuff over time, just like we have, right? Like we didn't just start doing all that stuff. So.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. I mean, because I used to be years ago when I first got into this, Tom, was like, you had to have everything done before you could go out the door, and before you could go and do something. And all it does is cause delay and stop you from making progress. Whereas you just got to start. Just start with your brother or your sister and their business, a family friend, whoever it is, in that. Start by doing that one, and do your own one. That's the number one thing. Is do your own one. So. You've got to stay on top of it and cut your teeth in a small way, and then that'll give you the confidence to go and just talk to someone, get that first paying gig for it, because they'll quickly move on to being much higher value, and you'll refine your process, and you build your process out as well. I think it's really important to go when you take a product like Matt's Mentor is a great product and stuff, and that it is not a hard and fast solution. It is pliable to you can use it in the way you want to use it and bring the value that you want for it to that particular business owner or that situation. It's if you take everything as a cookie cutter, you're always just going to get that standard cookie cutter result. And if you dial things in and really think about the process and the actions that you're doing, then you wind up creating something that really adds value to your business and adds more value to their business as well.
Yeah. I mean, that's great. And by the way, David, I saw David's comment about something that he has. And David, we don't do pitching in the comments and the streams and stuff like that. So I removed that comment. But David, if you reach out to our team, you can reach out to Cameron at offlinesharks.com with information about what you're talking about. And then we can talk about possibly doing something with you. I saw Doran jump in there. No worries, David. It's all hey, no stress. It's all good. But yeah, shoot us a message, because we're always looking for things that we can bring to our community and things that help. So no worries. It's all good, David. All good. Jacqueline. No. So what he did was he created a 10 best of list on his own influencer website. And then he was able to set the 10 best of, right? Because he picked them. And so, he had a really great pizza client. So he put them in the blog post. He put them as the best and then made press releases. I thought it was really great. AV says, I needed to hear that. I spend too much time trying to get Yes. I mean, man. We're all guilty of that, AV. We are all.
Yeah, it's got to be perfect. Otherwise, people will think less of me, and people can't think less of you if you haven't connected with them. So, you've got to get it out the door. You can always fix it. I say that particularly with AGM, influencer sites is, make it look presentable, make it look good, so that someone will be attracted to it, and then come back to it 2 months later and do some more. Keep on evolving these things, but just get it right enough to be able to get out the door with it and get something underway. Yeah, activity creates more activity, and I think people look for 20, 30, 40 customers I want paying me reoccurring revenue and stuff. Well, you've got to start with one, and if you wind up starting with 5 that just pay you for one job, one of those might turn into that reoccurring customer, but you've got to start with one.
Yeah, and Nick and I have been doing this for a long time now. Before Offline Sharks, we're doing the agency stuff, and now we have Offline Sharks, and we've done a lot of stuff here too. And I will tell all of you that are watching this right now, the feeling of not knowing what you're doing never really goes away.
No,
it never really goes away. And and
do you find, Tom, that sometimes you feel like I feel like I'm a bit of a fraud? It's like I don't really know that. I look at someone like Dawn Brenton, who has just got the most amazing amounts of knowledge and deep understanding of all these systems. And I said, I've spent a couple of hours with Dawn this week. I thank you very much for your time, Dawn. You really helped me out. And I almost feel like I'm a bit thick, a bit stupid, when you're dealing with something like that. But you don't, you just have to present in the right way, because the people you're talking to, they know even less than you do. So, make sure you keep that in your heart all the time,
Well, and, I think there's something to be said for your willingness to shoulder the responsibility to learn, right? Like that, I think those types of things, the way they benefit you in the beginning is I remember I used to go to my B&I group and somebody would ask me a marketing question and I wouldn't know the answer. And I would go, let me get back to you on that. And then I would go home and Google, and then I'd be like, oh yeah, I can help you with that. And then I learned the thing we were talking about, right? Like, so you just want to make sure that you are genuinely improving your skills and learning, right? Like, and you're always going to come into that stuff that there's always going to be things that you're not going to be sure of. You're not going to know. You're going to have to figure out, there's no real manual for a lot of this stuff. Like almost everything I know about doing websites and hosting and all of that stuff is a result of a problem that happened. Right? It was like the client called me and like my hosting doesn't work. And now I had to go figure all this out. Like, so, that's all, I guess really what I'm trying to tell you guys is that's all part of the process. And don't feel like you're not doing something right just because you feel that way. Just continue to do what you're doing, even though you feel that way. That's the important part. Even though you feel that way, just continue to do it. Right. And I'm becoming, oh, go ahead, Richie.
If it was easy, everyone would be doing it.
Yeah, if it were easy, everybody would be doing it, right?
So there's got to be some challenges in it. The challenge that's in this industry and in this business is what makes it worth it. Because not everyone can do it, and you're miles ahead. Everyone that's here is miles ahead of so many other people, and that's the thing. You just can't acquire all the knowledge in one day and just go out there and have 7-figure agency. It doesn't work that way. You've got to chip away at it. You've got to keep learning. I mean, I had that win last night with a gym owner. So I spent an hour this morning researching what it is that, the fitness industry, fitness studios and the likes and that, doing some research around, okay, how am I going to build my pitch to this customer and close the deal on Monday? So I went and learned because that way I know enough about gyms. I know I don't like going to it as often as I should. But, at the end of the day, if I start to immediately spend an hour learning about what are the key factors for this business, then I'm going to make a much better pitch on Monday and close them. So that's the idea, just keep on learning. You learn every day.
Yeah. It's interesting. For some reason, I get these things that pop up in my Facebook feed about acting. And so I saw this one with Ethan Hawke and I thought, wow, man, this really applies, I think, to anything in life. And I know this is true of my experience, and I'll tell you how this applies to me in a minute. But he said his daughter wanted to be an actor, right? And he asked her, he said, listen, I'm going to ask you. He's like, if 20 years from now, you're at some high school in California teaching acting, does that sound good to you? And he's like, because if you answer no, then you don't need to be in this business. He was like, if that doesn't sound like success to you, he's like, then you just need to get out now. Because what are you doing? Like, he's like, you can't control what's going to happen. You can do your part. Like, you could be the best actor in the world and never get a great part and never get booked for anything. He's like, there's only certain things, you can show up to auditions, you can do those things, but you can't control any of that other stuff that happens. And there's a very good chance that you'll just end up teaching acting later on at high school. So that better sound good to you, because now you're doing it because you love doing it. And this is what you want to do. Right. And I think about that in terms of business as well, because I remember there was a point when my agency, was just making not a lot of money, right? Like I wasn't making a lot of money, but I was covering the bills. And like, yes, I was working really hard because I was getting clients and like, there was a lot of stuff going on, but I remember just having this moment of like, I had control of my schedule for like the first time ever, right? After being a restaurant manager, I was making enough to cover the bills. Like, I was by no means, if it stayed that way, I was by no means going to get rich, right? Like that wasn't where I was heading at that income. But I remember sitting in my office and having this moment of like, wow, if this is as good as it is going to be, like, I'm okay with that. Like, this is a pretty good life that I have right now. Like, yes, I work hard. Yes, I'm not like, money's not just rolling in, but I'm able to control my schedule. I'm able to spend time with my family when I want. I'm able to, I'm doing something that's different. Like, I'm not just working a regular job. Like, it was just a moment of like, man, I would be totally fine at this level, and it wasn't a big level. It was just like, just
find contentness. You just got to find your happy spot, and if that's where you are, then hey, great. And
well,
maybe
expectations. It's so hard to control your expectations because your expectations is you want to get into being an entrepreneur. You want to make the big bucks. Here's the thing: no matter how much money you make, somebody else there's always somebody making more. Like if money is the thing you're chasing, like you can never get there because there's always somebody that's making more. There's always somebody that's doing bigger stuff. There's always people that seem smarter. Like that just doesn't go away. So, I just started to get comfortable with being like, hey man, like I just love what I'm doing. I love what I'm doing. It's got its downs. It's got its irritations just like anything. But at the end of the day, like I'm pretty happy with it, even with those irritations. So, I just go through that. But hey, I want to do a couple things here because I know we're already at almost 45 past the hour. So a couple things. One, I want to welcome 2 new Agency Evolution members. And Mark, welcome to Agency Evolution. We are excited to have you in there. Awesome.
Yeah, I met Houston and Mark yesterday, and in an Agency Evolution training call, and wonderful guys. Houston is in Norway, and Mark is up near Boston. So congratulations, guys! It's great to have you as part of the community, and really looking forward to working with you.
Yeah, welcome. Awesome stuff. Another little thing I want to do too is we have these accountability check-ins in Agency Evolution, and I want to just give a shout out to the people that checked in this week. So Robert, Bill, Alan, Steve, congratulations. So one of the things we do in Agency Evolution is hold each other accountable. So every Monday we have a post where people go in and put what they're going to get done in the week, break things down into smaller tasks so we can keep each other on track. And these guys are really doing it. And Alan, look at that mustache. That is a winner.
It is one of the most impressive mustaches I've ever seen, and a hell of a nice guy to boot. Wonderful. All these guys here, fantastic, and they're all taking great action. They're doing great things. There's a couple of things, and there's some specific ones in that that I'm really excited about because there's some serious win action that's going to come out of all of these guys.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, congratulations, guys. Okay, and David, yes, Cameron at offlinesharks.com. So I just started kind of scrolling through the questions here. We'll get back to some of these questions in a minute. I do just want to take a quick second to do our shark shout out. So every week on the live show, we like to celebrate the wins from our community. And today is no different. So I'm going to share my screen here. And we're going to share some shark shout outs. So first up, Stormin Norman, another guy who kills it with Google Business Profile as well. One of our success coaches in Agency Evolution. So Norm shared that one of his SEO team members and his whole family recently bought themselves an entire farm in India.
Yeah, isn't that awesome? And it's changing lives, mate. And that's it's just awesome. That success breeds success. It's just absolutely fantastic. I love seeing this.
Yeah, it's interesting the things that come about. I remember really early on, Nick and I were working with some team members that we had brought on overseas, and one of them asked us if we could upgrade their computer, and like we had this discussion about it, and we were like, you know what, we decided to do it, and we bought them a computer. Not only did they do amazing work for us, they worked with us for a long time, but like they sent us this video later where from what they had made working with us, they were able, the house where they lived didn't have real flooring. It had been just a dirt floor, and they were able to put in real flooring in their house. And so they sent us a video. It was awesome. Like, good stuff. Yeah. I mean, sometimes we forget, like, we talk about outsourcing and all those things as it relates to us, but like, when you're doing those things, you're doing things for other people, right? Like you're helping other people in the process, helping them to get the things that they want and the things they do. And that's something that, we don't talk about it a lot, but like, it really is an amazing, it's really an amazing side effect of being an entrepreneur when you really step back and start to think about the people that you impact around you. Pretty amazing.
Yeah, I love it. And just to add to that, Tom, I had a conversation on Monday with one of my VAs in the Philippines, and she's pulled together and started her own small business online in printing and design and stuff as well. So a Shopify store and everything else in that, and I've sort of given her access to a number of resources to help her out. And I think it's just wonderful that she's taken that initiative and building that up and moving forward. Good for her.
Yeah. And then Jay, I know, Richie, you posted that win of the big client in the Agency Evolution group, but did they share it in the wins last week?
No, we didn't do wins last week.
Nick, we didn't share it in the wins this week. We got to get that added to the wins.
Nick promoted the check-ins as the wins, and which is actually a win in itself. So fantastic.
Nice.
He was a bit rusty. He hadn't been around for a while, so yeah. But it was good chat with Paul as well. That was really on point.
Awesome. I see. We're gonna get back to some of these. We'll go through some of these questions here in a minute. So, Norm, congratulations there. Where to go? Okay. So, don't remember that. So, Norm, Scott Meisner, another batch of 90,000 11x14 postcards are out the door again. Quarterly profit continues to increase as he breaks another personal record. 6-figure profit by May 1st this year with that's just his postcard sales.
Yeah.
So awesome stuff, Scott.
Amazing. And every time we hear from Scott, he just blows me away. He's built such a good business model, and he's such a nice guy. He's got such a beautiful family. So congratulations, Scott.
Yeah, I mean, how he does that with I think he has 14 kids?
Something like that. Yeah,
I mean,
I think it's a dozen for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and what's really great about Scott's story, for those of you that Scott has been in our community for a long time. I actually got to have lunch with him in Maui when him and his wife, they take a break from the kids every year and they go to Maui together. I got to have lunch with him at the restaurant where my B&I group meets. And you're right. He is just a super nice guy. But, Scott used to be a high school teacher and he doesn't do that anymore. Now he does the postcards full time and digital marketing and all that stuff. So really, really great story and really, really great guy. So awesome work, Scott. You want to do this one, Richie?
Yeah. So my buddy Faisa, she set up her reach machine and went out the door, and it was around the wrong way. So she had to reset it and then do, I think, 350 apology emails saying, hey, well, we got this wrong and everything else and stuff and that. So she's reset a machine, put it on a slow drip and stuff and that. But the work that Faisa has put in here and the quality of what she's pulled together is just amazing. So, to see that come back with the first two, there's just bigger and better things to come here. And she's really honed in on quality as well. So, I think her conversion from free listings to upgrades and onto other sales and stuff as well is almost guaranteed. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome stuff. Congratulations, Faisa. And then Chandra Rohu lives just a stone's throw away from me here in Las Vegas. I got to meet up with him for happy hour and have some dinner and drinks. Great guy as well. Sold a new website for an electrician, $565.
Awesome. Yeah, that's bread and butter right there. Bread and butter. That is the mainstay of what we do. And that one website deal could turn into many, many thousands of dollars more. And it's the idea. So good on you.
Yeah, Doran, that was Patches. There's a yard person at the neighbors, so he, of course, was barking. I tried to mute myself there, but not fast enough. Next up is Kristen Bedard. She secured a 1 to 2 page website build for an existing client who needs a site for a nonprofit that she's a part of. $700 plus possibly monthly hosting and web maintenance of $25 to $50 a month. Also monthly recurring payment, and from bar restaurant client $2,500, and Google business management for her auto salvage client $500.
Yeah, she's been having some great wins the last I think the last 4 or 5 weeks. Kristen has really got the stuff dialed in and working well, and she's getting referred business, and she's getting more business out of existing customers. It's a perfect way to grow an agency. So congratulations, Kirsten.
Yeah, there's a couple things I want to talk about here too. I do want to mention, Jason, you said $565 for a website. So Jason, one of the, I don't know if you're asking that because that seems low for you. So one of the strategies that we teach here in Offline Sharks is we have a collection of pre-built websites. They're already done. They have all the images, all the copy. We built them out. And then people in our community take those and sell them. And then they keep all the money. So Electrician is one of the pre-built sites. So I'm assuming that Chandra used, I mean, he may not have, he may have done it a different way, but like that's typically what we sell those pre-built sites for. They're really great because you just show them to somebody. You say, hey, I noticed you don't have a website. I've got this Electrician site. Here's the link. Take a look at it. Do you like it? I'm willing to part with it for $500. So it's a strategy that we teach. So awesome.
Yes.
Stuff. Also on Kristen's thing here, there are a couple things here. This, where she talks about building a website for a nonprofit she's a part of. There's another great opportunity to not only do some good, make yourself feel good, but also gain some experience and practice your skills, helping out any nonprofits that you're a part of or you believe in. I know there was a nonprofit that I was a part of in Maui. I mean, I only charged them like $100 a month, but I really believed in the cause. So, I got a little bit of money, but the main thing was I got to sharpen my skills and help them out and work with them. And they also became a great testimonial for me. So, if you're in that range, if you're in that area of like trying to get those first clients, that's a good opportunity, right? Go look for some nonprofits or causes that you believe in, offer to help them at a discounted price or even for free if they'll, go with you. So good stuff.
Yeah.
And then the team over at Nick Ponte Marketing, new client, $47,000 a year. We closed a coffee shop on SEO, $1,500, and Google Ads, $2,000, plus one-time setup fee of $250. We connected before COVID. So this is a client we've been nurturing since before COVID, and they weren't in need of any marketing as Hawaii's economy was shut down, but now they are. Another important note there, right? Keep those, don't just let those old reach outs go, right? Circle back around, follow up, stay in touch, right? Stay in touch. So that is a combined total of $108,052 for the week of April 27th through May 3rd. The grand total since the start of 2024, you, the people in our community, have closed $434,167 in digital marketing services since the start of 2024. Amazing. Way to go, everybody. Way to go. And please don't forget, if you have a win, if you have monthly invoices that come in, don't just share them once. When you get those invoices, share those wins, big, small, barters. They don't have to involve money. They can just be a milestone of, hey, I got my first reply or I had my first client meeting. We love to hear all that stuff. So make sure to share those in the Facebook group as well. So congratulations, everybody. Awesome. Now, look, we've been talking about Google Maps and Google Business Profile. We have a promotion that's going on right now with Paul James that's going to be closing tomorrow. So if you haven't checked that out, go to offlinesharks.com/maps mentor. You can check out the training there, see info on that. Again, that closes tomorrow, so the special pricing will be going away. So if you've been on the fence about jumping in or waiting to jump in, now's the time to do that. You'll see that link. Let me scroll through these questions here real fast and see. Jason said, yeah, just so much time for a website page that gets correct plus some copyright in front of per page is a very reasonable start. Yeah, Jason, absolutely. When we're doing custom sites, they start at $3,000 to $4,000. And that's actually one of the ways that we sell this to people. So like I used to go to my the BNI, the Business Network International Group, and I would say, look, if you want to hire me to build a website, it's going to be $4,000 to $5,000 easy. But if you like the way this site looks, I can sell you this one for $1,000 or $500. And like we've raised the prices over time, but a lot for when we were first starting, we do them at the lower prices. Awesome. Cool. Well, man.
I see Dawn's back at it again, mate.
Oh,
He's sold 6 $9 ebooks this week. So congratulations, Dawn. You're one step closer to retirement, buddy.
One step. Yep. One step. Okay. So look, before we go, we always like to give away some Cash App money on this live stream. So we're going to do that now. So here's what we're going to do. I need, if you would like to be in the drawing to win the Cash App money, there's a couple things I need you to do. Number one, make sure that you have granted StreamYard permission to post for you.
That really helps. Really helps. Yeah.
I haven't seen anybody, we're on this live stream. I haven't seen a single person that has not granted permission. So that's awesome. And quite a few people. Okay. So what I want you guys to do is I want you to type in hashtag. Here, I'm going to share my screen. Type in this hashtag maps money. All you have to do is type in this hashtag right now in the comments on this stream. And I will start seeing entries. Look, there's one person. One person is entered. So I'm in. And here in a minute, I'm going to click this draw button. And we're going to give away some Cash App money. We're going to do this twice. So type in hashtag maps money. While you're doing that, I'm going to get us all excited for this by playing this song.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money. Money, money,
Dollar, dollar. Dollar, dollar. Ching, ching, bling, bling, got the chatter. You ain't talking money, then you're talking no matter.
The money song, always a favorite. Always.
Did you, Tom, I went to a rap concert last night.
Oh, you did?
I was just getting out of my comfort zone, and yeah, I went to it was a like multi-performer. It was about 12 performers and stuff like that. And actually, I really enjoyed it. I mean, I'm sort of, my music of taste is more like Tool and and some harder, heavier bands, but it was really enjoyable. So I just heard the song then. I was like, it reminded me of it.
Like you're right back, right? Awesome stuff.
Some really talented people.
All right, I'm going to do the drawing for the first Cash App prize right now, which is $25. We're going to give away $25. You can still put in hashtag maps money and be added for the second drawing. So here we go. We're going to do this. I still laugh about this because the first time we rolled this out on the show, it selected our own profile, which I thought was Amy Barnes. Winner, winner, chicken dinner, as they say here in Las Vegas. So, Avi, you have $25 in Cash App money coming your way. You can give the team your Cash App thing or PayPal. They can do it that way as well. And then we are going to draw again for another winner. So I'm going to give you guys another minute to put in hashtag maps money if you want to win some free money.
Yeah.
And then also go to offlinesharks.com/Map Mentors. Check out the training before it comes down tomorrow. Again, all of that closing tomorrow. Tomorrow's the final day for that. All right, here we go. We're going to draw for the second one. So snazzy how it does this.
Yeah, it's cool.
Really high tech here. Really high tech. And there we go. You must be joking. You must be joking. Look at that. Oh, that's pretty good.
That is clever.
Who did that?
Hey, good stuff. Yeah.
Next, we're going to be getting pranks on the live show from now on. You must be joking. That's pretty good. I don't know who that is.
Awesome. Hey.
You're going to have to come clean if you want to collect your prize. That's great.
Brilliant.
Okay. Look, listen, everybody. Thanks so much for hanging out with us on today's Friday live show. I hope you got some good info about how to add Google Business Profile, Google Maps to your arsenal of digital marketing services. Again, that special training, the special offer all comes down tomorrow. So go to offlinesharks.com/Maps Mentor to check that out. Richie, really appreciate you hanging out, chatting with us, sharing all the info. I mean, so nice of you to share all that stuff that you're doing in the agency and all that stuff. Great stuff.
Yeah. Hey, what are you doing for the weekend, Tom?
Well, so today I am going to a volleyball tournament, and then tomorrow I'm going to hang out with the wife, and then Sunday I am leaving sunny Las Vegas, and I am headed to Dallas, Texas for the Go High Level Advanced SaaS Mastermind. Anybody else here going to that? Anybody going to be at that? I'm going to be there. So if you're going to be at the Go High Level Advanced SaaS Mastermind in Dallas, Texas, it's Monday through Wednesday. Shoot me a message, DM me on social media. I'd love to hook up and meet up with you guys. Yeah, Dorn, I actually got to play some poker Tuesday night. I went and played in a bomb pot Texas Hold'em no limit tournament. It was crazy. I don't know if you guys know what a bomb pot is, but a bomb pot is when everybody, like, they set an amount, like $100. Everybody puts in $100, and then they deal the cards, and they deal 2 boards. So you have 2 chances to win, and you just win the money. It was crazy. I came in 5th. I didn't make the money. I came in 5th, but
I'm off to the Kentucky Derby tomorrow, the 150th Kentucky Derby.
Oh my gosh, that would be so much fun.
I've been to all of the world's great horse races, but I've never been to the Kentucky Derby, so it's completing a bucket list item for me, and I'm pretty excited about it.
Oh man, congratulations! That's awesome.
Yeah,
make sure to post some pictures. I want to see.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
What's the drink? The mule? They drink the mule, right?
There's a different bourbon cocktail every day. Hence, the bourbon makes it better.
I thought, isn't it like the copper mug? Isn't that like a standard Kentucky Derby thing? And the copper mug and the hats, right?
Yeah. Hats and yeah. I mean, I like bourbon, so I'll be like that, and I like horse racing. 2 things, and I'm going with a couple of other Kiwis and an Irish publican. It's going to be a long day. But it'll be well worth it. I'm pretty excited about it.
Well, awesome stuff. Well, look, hey, thanks everybody for hanging out with us today. Had a great time. Look forward to seeing you next week. Same shark time, same shark channel. Until then, stay safe, practice Aloha, post those wins between now and the next live show, and we'll see you next Friday. Bye, everybody.
Have a good one.
You've been watching the Aloha Marketing Jam session. We've helped thousands just like you start and scale their businesses. If you'd like our help to grow your business, go to the link on your screen now and let us know how we can help you. Don't forget to like, comment, and share this stream. We'll be back here next Friday for another live show. Until then, aloha.